Have you ever stopped to wonder if you're truly in charge of the life you're leading? Or are you just drifting through each day without real intention? The honest truth is this: most people walk through existence without ever waking up to their full capabilities. Days turn into weeks, weeks into years, and somehow we find ourselves wondering where all the time disappeared to. We get caught up reacting to whatever comes our way instead of actively shaping our experience. Here's what burns deep when you finally see it. Your current reality is nothing more than the accumulated result of decisions you've made and the ones you've avoided making. That awareness stings because it means you've always had the power to change things. The ancient Stoic philosophers grasped this fundamental principle. Marcus Aurelius taught that our obstacles don't block the path. They become the path itself. Every difficulty you've been running from holds the exact transformation you need if you'd only turn and face it. So here's my question for you. What's holding you back from claiming your potential? Because right now, in this moment, we're going to explore how you can seize control of your existence, your thinking patterns, and everything that lies ahead. If you're prepared to face hard truths and commit to genuine transformation, hit that subscribe button. Not as a favor to me, but as a commitment to yourself. It's a declaration that you're stepping into your evolution, your purpose, your authentic strength. Let's embark on this journey together. 1. I possess the ability. Each sunrise brings a fresh beginning, yet the world instantly starts making demands on our energy and focus. It's remarkably simple to feel buried under the weight of obligations that seem impossible to handle. But pause right here and declare to yourself, I possess the ability. These 4 words carry transformative power. When you acknowledge your inherent strength to meet any challenge, you're anchoring yourself in your own fortitude. Reality delivers unexpected complications constantly. We're intimately familiar with this pattern, yet each time difficulty strikes, we face a fundamental choice: surrender to defeat or rise stronger. Marcus Aurelius expressed it perfectly when he wrote that resistance to action actually propels action forward. Whatever blocks your progress ultimately shows you the way through. This philosophy transcends mere motivation. It represents a complete approach to living. The barriers confronting you exist not to destroy your spirit, but to reveal your true capacity for growth. Before doubt takes root in your mind, remind yourself, I possess the ability. You've navigated challenging circumstances previously and emerged intact. The fortitude required to overcome today's difficulties already lives within your core. This isn't about arrogance or false confidence. It's simply recognizing the power you've always carried. When morning arrives, your initial action shouldn't involve checking notifications or spiraling into worry about upcoming tasks. Instead, begin by honoring your inherent strength. I possess the ability. These words form more than a simple affirmation. They establish the bedrock of your achievements. Regardless of the task's magnitude, confirming your capability allows you to approach every situation with assurance. We often trap ourselves thinking we must have complete certainty before moving forward. The reality: most of existence unfolds as continuous experimentation and learning. We develop understanding through direct experience, and part of that development stems from trusting that we can handle ambiguity. Every obstacle presents a chance to demonstrate to yourself that you have what's necessary. Therefore, when life presents you with a demand, don't pause to question yourself. Simply state, I possess the ability. When you make this declaration, you unlock possibility. The world may not always operate fairly, and circumstances may not always favor you, but your mindset becomes your greatest tool. The capacity to maintain focus, to remain steady during adversity, and to continue progressing forward defines what possessing ability truly means. Days will arrive when uncertainty creeps in, when doubt attempts to establish dominance. But remember this fundamental truth. You've weathered difficult periods before. You've confronted challenges that appeared insurmountable. Yet here you stand. This exemplifies the strength of affirming your own capability. Each time you speak those words, "I possess the ability," you're reinforcing your resilience. The path to success never follows a straight line. Setbacks will occur, yet every setback serves as a disguised lesson. It's a reminder that you can manage even the most demanding situations. Trust in your abilities and observe how reality responds. When you trust yourself, others naturally begin trusting you as well. The energy you radiate, confidence, composure, and strength, creates ripples affecting everyone you encounter. People recognize your ability to stay grounded, to maintain concentration even when circumstances turn difficult. The more consistently you practice affirming your capability, the more completely you'll inhabit your power with each passing day. So make today the beginning of something different. Let every morning serve as a reminder of your strength, your resilience, and your unwavering self-belief. Tell yourself, "I possess the ability." Allow those words to guide you through whatever challenges emerge ahead. The strength you're searching for already exists within you. It always has. 2. I create my experience. How frequently have you heard yourself say, "That's beyond my reach," or "This is overwhelming"? Perhaps it happens during a difficult moment or when you're staring at a goal that feels distant. But here's the fundamental truth. These thoughts don't just limit you, they actively prevent your progress. The Stoics understood that our perception directly creates our lived experience. When you declare, "I create my experience," you're making a profound statement. You're the author of your narrative, not simply a character within it. You command the power to transform how you perceive reality and, more significantly, how you respond to circumstances. How you conceptualize challenges either empowers your progress or drags you into stagnation. The instant you transition from passive observer to active creator, you reclaim control. Carl Jung articulated this wisdom: your vision becomes clear only when you examine your own heart. Those who look outward merely dream. Those who look inward truly awaken. This quote reminds us that the power to create your experience originates from within. It's not about altering external circumstances first, but about changing how you position yourself relative to them. We constantly examine our situations and conclude we're trapped, that we're merely products of our environment, that we possess no influence over outcomes. But truthfully, the power to create your experience begins with one simple perspective shift: accepting responsibility for your responses. You can't always dictate the external environment, but you absolutely control your perception and chosen reactions. Now, transforming your perception isn't effortless. Times will come when circumstances turn harsh, and the instinctive reaction involves giving up entirely. But remember this: the Stoics never taught that life would be devoid of hardship. They taught that hardship was unavoidable, but our response to it defines our character. Seneca stated, "We suffer more frequently in imagination than in reality." We conjure worst-case scenarios. We become consumed by fears and allow those fears to dictate our behavior. But the truth remains: the worst rarely materializes, and even when it does, we possess the strength to handle it. Life's challenges may not always come easily, but they serve as the training ground for resilience and insight. When you embrace this understanding, you begin viewing challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to forge your character. Consider the last significant setback you experienced. Maybe a project collapsed or a relationship hit turbulence. How did you respond? Did you allow it to define your identity? Or did you use it to redefine yourself? The beauty of creating your own experience lies in recognizing that every encounter, regardless of difficulty, becomes a foundation stone. Each time you face defeat, you possess the choice to rise again and extract wisdom from the experience. This mindset shift extends beyond major life events. It applies to minor moments, the daily frustrations. Whether it's the annoyance of a delayed commute or a conflict with a colleague, your response transforms everything. Rather than allowing these moments to control your emotional state, you can choose to let them teach you valuable insights about patience, resilience, or communication. This represents the essence of Stoic philosophy, learning to concentrate on what falls within our control and releasing what doesn't. It's not about suppressing your feelings or pretending everything's fine. It's about accepting reality as it exists, while refusing to let it govern your emotional state. By selecting how you respond to challenges, you construct a mindset that remains unshakable, regardless of what life delivers. As you practice this daily, it becomes instinctive. You no longer perceive obstacles as barriers, but as integral parts of your growth journey. The more frequently you affirm, "I create my experience," the more power you gain to transform your life. 3. My direction is defined. One of existence's greatest difficulties involves managing uncertainty. You open your eyes each morning and immediately the weight of the upcoming day starts pressing down. What will unfold today? Will you be prepared for what's approaching? These questions can rapidly spiral into anxiety, leaving you immobilized by fear of the unknown. But here's the truth: clarity doesn't materialize from passively waiting for things to magically arrange themselves. It doesn't emerge from having every detail of your existence perfectly mapped out. No, clarity originates from concentrating on what you can control and releasing everything else. When you affirm that your direction is defined, you're making a deliberate decision to approach the day with purpose. It's about determining what holds genuine importance and focusing there. You may not know every single step, but you understand the direction you want to travel. That's where clarity emerges from. It's a mindset, a choice, and a commitment to making each day purposeful. Consider it this way: if you're constantly looking around, waiting for perfect timing or perfect conditions, you'll never advance. The fog of uncertainty will perpetually linger. But when you choose to act with intention, when you establish clear purposes, that fog begins lifting. You stop waiting for things to align themselves and start creating the path as you walk it. This doesn't guarantee everything will unfold according to plan. Life doesn't operate that way. The Stoics recognized this well, but they also understood that you can face challenges with a sense of direction, knowing you've set your course. Your direction doesn't need to be obstacle-free to be defined. In fact, obstacles naturally occur in life. But when you remind yourself that your direction is defined, you give yourself the fortitude to face whatever emerges with resilience. You trust that even when the journey gets difficult, you have the tools to navigate it. Sometimes the most powerful action you can take is simply making a decision. It's easy to become stuck in the cycle of overthinking, wondering what the optimal decision is, what the correct move is, whether you're making an error. But here's the reality: waiting for perfect clarity often results in paralysis. Instead, the Stoic practice involves taking action with whatever clarity you currently possess, trusting that the path will reveal itself as you advance. By choosing to act even when the outcome remains uncertain, you generate momentum. You stop being a passive observer in your existence and become the active creator of your story. The beauty of this mindset is that it liberates you from the need for perfection. You stop stressing over every minor detail and instead focus on what genuinely matters. You remind yourself that it's acceptable if things don't go as planned, as long as you stay focused on your larger vision. This sense of clarity originates from within, and it's available to you every single day. It's about understanding that no matter what happens, you're capable of handling it and moving forward with intention. So each morning, take a deep breath and remind yourself, my direction is defined. When you affirm this, you open the door to new possibilities. You create the clarity you need by setting your intentions and trusting that every step you take, no matter how modest, brings you closer to your destination. With each new day, you're the one who defines your direction, defined, purposeful, and full of possibility. 4. I will concentrate on what holds value. In our current world, it feels like we're perpetually bombarded with distractions. Our devices constantly ping, social media notifications never cease, and everyone seems to want a piece of our attention. It's remarkably easy to get swept up in this whirlwind of demands, responsibilities, and random noise. We find ourselves juggling tasks, reacting to everything surrounding us, and before we realize it, the day has vanished, leaving us questioning if we actually accomplished anything meaningful. Success doesn't stem from attempting everything, though. It doesn't come from staying busy. Success originates from understanding what truly holds value and directing all your energy toward those elements. In a world constantly pulling you in countless directions, choosing to concentrate on what genuinely matters represents a radical act of self-discipline. Every morning, begin your day by telling yourself, I will concentrate on what holds value. It's a simple affirmation, but it carries immense power. When you make this declaration, you're not just setting a vague intention. You're making a conscious choice to direct your time and energy toward things that align with your core principles. Consider this. How often do you feel overwhelmed by an endless task list that doesn't actually move you forward? The world overflows with things demanding your attention, but most represent distractions. In fact, they pull you away from things that are truly meaningful. Carl Jung once stated, the privilege of a lifetime is becoming who you truly are. And that's precisely what happens when you concentrate on what holds value. You stop wasting energy on things that don't align with your authentic self, and you start dedicating yourself to what helps you grow, flourish, and live with purpose. When you start each day with the mindset of concentrating on what holds value, you begin filtering out the noise. This doesn't mean you ignore everything else or become blind to your responsibilities. It means you learn how to prioritize. Imagine you have a limited amount of energy each day. Would you rather spend it on tasks that don't move you forward? Or would you rather invest it in things that will shape your future? It's not always simple. Life overflows with urgent demands, but the truth is, being busy isn't identical to being productive. It's easy to confuse the two. You can be busy all day and still feel like you didn't accomplish anything. The secret lies in learning how to decline things that don't align with your priorities and accept things that bring you closer to your goals. This is a lesson the Stoics understood deeply. They believed in concentrating on what falls within our control and releasing the rest. It's a principle that frees us from the stress of trying to manage everything simultaneously. Seneca once stated, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Time is our most precious resource, and it's easy to squander it if we don't consciously choose where to direct our attention. By concentrating on what holds value, you reclaim control of your time. You stop letting the world dictate how you spend your days, and you start living intentionally with purpose and clarity. The beauty of this mindset is that it shifts your perspective. Instead of getting caught up in the hustle and chaos of life, you learn to slow down and prioritize what truly brings you fulfillment. It's about choosing your battles. Not every task, not every person, not every demand is worthy of your time. When you concentrate on what holds value, you can decline distractions without guilt. You can protect your energy and invest it toward things that will create lasting significance in your life. Whether it's a long-term project, meaningful conversations with loved ones, or taking care of your health, these are the things that move the needle in your life. These are the things that help you grow and become the person you want to be. 5. I select courage above ease. Let's discuss ease for a moment. We all crave it, correct? Who doesn't enjoy that feeling of being comfortable, in control, and secure? But here's the reality. Growth doesn't occur in ease. It occurs when you step outside of what feels familiar, when you push past the boundaries you've established for yourself. And while that may sound like an intimidating thought, it's also incredibly empowering. Growth isn't just about achieving success when things are simple. It's about learning to flourish when you're uncomfortable, when you're uncertain, and when you're stepping into unexplored territory. That's where transformation happens. The Stoics grasped this better than anyone. They didn't just embrace discomfort. They actively pursued it as a means of building strength. They understood that without challenge, there could be no growth. The obstacles they encountered, the discomfort they faced, were not things to avoid. They were things to lean into, to learn from, and to transform into sources of power. So when you wake up in the morning, remind yourself, I select courage above ease. This is more than just a motivational phrase. It's a mindset that can radically transform the way you approach life. Consider the last time you faced something difficult. Maybe it was a tough conversation, a project you were hesitant to undertake, or a decision that pushed you outside of your usual routine. How did you respond? Did you retreat into the ease of the familiar? Or did you step up and face the challenge directly? Stepping outside of your ease zone isn't about being fearless. It's about choosing to act despite the fear, to move forward even when uncertainty looms large. When you select courage above ease, you make a conscious decision to face the discomfort, understanding that it's in these moments that your true growth happens. We often restrain ourselves because we're afraid of failing or of making mistakes. But here's the reality. Every great achievement, every piece of progress is built on a foundation of failure and learning. If you're not failing, you're probably not pushing yourself hard enough. The discomfort you feel is a signal that you're stretching yourself, that you're expanding beyond your current limits. That's precisely where the growth exists. It's simple to stay in your ease zone, to stick with what you know, but the problem with that is you don't grow, you don't evolve. Staying in your bubble might feel secure, but it keeps you stagnant. So how do you select courage above ease? Start by embracing the discomfort you feel when you're faced with a challenge. Rather than shrinking back or procrastinating, lean into it. Remind yourself that you're doing it for a reason, that growth exists on the other side of discomfort. This isn't about ignoring fear. It's about acknowledging it and deciding to act in spite of it. Each time you select courage, you build resilience. Each time you face discomfort, you become stronger, wiser, and more capable. It's also important to remember that courage isn't about taking massive risks or making dramatic leaps all at once. Sometimes it's about small, incremental steps outside of your ease zone. It's saying yes to a new opportunity even though you're unsure of the outcome. It's having that difficult conversation instead of avoiding it. It's trying something new even if it scares you. Each small act of courage compounds over time, creating a powerful shift in how you view the world and your ability to navigate it. Every day offers you opportunities to select courage above ease. Whether it's in your personal life or your professional life, you have the ability to decide how you want to respond. You can either stay in the safe, predictable place, or you can step up, face the discomfort, and learn from the experience. The more you practice this mindset, the more natural it becomes. And eventually you'll look back and realize that the challenges you once feared were the very things that shaped you into the person you are today. 6. I appreciate this present moment. Appreciation is often treated as just another pleasant word that people casually mention, but it's much more than that. It's a powerful tool that can reshape how you experience reality. How often do you wake up and immediately start thinking about what's absent? Maybe it's a major project looming over your head, an argument that's unresolved, or 1,000 little worries gnawing at you. It's remarkably easy to get stuck in that mindset of, I don't have enough, or this isn't how I want things to be. But imagine if instead of concentrating on what's wrong, you chose to start your day with appreciation. What if you woke up and stated, I appreciate this present moment? It's a straightforward phrase, but it can completely transform your outlook on the day ahead. When you start your day with appreciation, you're making a conscious decision to shift your perspective. Rather than dwelling on what's missing, you concentrate on what you have. And the truth is, there's always something to appreciate, even when things aren't perfect. Life is rarely without its challenges, and sometimes it feels like we're just staying afloat. But if you look closely, you'll see the small things that bring you joy, peace, and fulfillment. Maybe it's the warmth of your morning beverage, or the sound of nature outside your window. Maybe it's the fact that you have the opportunity to start fresh today, that you have the strength to face whatever comes your way. When you state, I appreciate this present moment, you're grounding yourself in the now, in what you have, rather than what you lack. Appreciation pulls you out of the habit of complaining. It's so simple to slip into a mindset of concentrating on what's wrong. But what if you chose to shift your focus instead? When you concentrate on the positive aspects of your life, no matter how small they seem, you start to see abundance instead of scarcity. It's a subtle but powerful shift. You start noticing the little blessings, the moments of peace, the people who support you, the progress you're making, even if it's small. As Carl Jung once stated, what you resist persists, what you accept transforms. When you resist appreciation, when you concentrate only on what's wrong, it feels like those problems multiply. But when you accept the good, no matter how tiny it might seem, you transform your perspective and start to see the richness in your life. The more you practice appreciation, the more it becomes a habit. You stop waiting for something major to happen to feel thankful. Instead, you start seeing the value in the everyday moments. This simple practice can bring a profound shift in how you experience life. It makes you present, aware of the little joys that often go unnoticed. It shifts your attention away from negativity and brings you back to what matters most. Instead of chasing after more, appreciation teaches you to value what you already have. It's not about settling for less. It's about being fully present and content with what is. Ultimately, appreciation transforms your life by changing how you view the world. It helps you see opportunities instead of obstacles, joy instead of frustration, peace instead of chaos. When you state, I appreciate this present moment, you are affirming that you are exactly where you need to be and that everything you have in your life is worth celebrating. The power of appreciation lies in its simplicity. It's a daily reminder that no matter the circumstances, there is always something to be thankful for. And when you live with that mindset, you carry a sense of peace with you through even the most challenging days. So start your day with appreciation and see how it shifts your entire perspective. Every moment holds the potential for appreciation. All it takes is the decision to notice it. 7. I will pursue understanding. In life, we're always faced with decisions. Some minor, others that can feel monumental. And while we can't always control the outcome of those decisions, we can control how we approach them. Every day we make choices that shape our lives, whether it's how we respond to challenges, who we spend our time with, or even the way we talk to ourselves. But how often do we stop to consider the deeper understanding behind those choices? Often we rush through decisions, acting on impulse or relying on what feels most comfortable in the moment. Yet, the truth is, understanding doesn't come from acting without thought. It comes from taking the time to reflect, to gather insights, and to learn from every experience, major or minor. By telling yourself, "I will pursue understanding," you're committing to approach each decision with intention. You're choosing to pause and ask yourself, "What can I learn from this?" instead of simply reacting. This isn't just about having all the answers. It's about being willing to dig deeper, to be curious, and to stay humble in the face of uncertainty. Epictetus taught that true understanding comes from the ability to comprehend what we can control and what we cannot. He once stated, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This philosophy highlights the importance of understanding what truly matters in life. Understanding, according to the Stoics, isn't about accumulating things or achievements. It's about aligning your decisions with your principles and recognizing that simplicity, clarity, and mindfulness lead to a more fulfilled existence. When you commit to pursuing understanding, you're not just concentrating on the major moments. You're learning from everything around you. It's easy to get caught up in the rush of life, to concentrate only on the next task or the next problem that needs solving. But understanding comes from reflecting on each experience, no matter how trivial it may seem. When you actively pursue learning, you begin to see life as a teacher, and every situation, whether it's a victory or a failure, becomes an opportunity for growth. This mindset shift transforms challenges into lessons, setbacks into stepping stones, and it encourages you to approach every decision with the awareness that you can always improve. It's not about getting everything right. It's about getting better with every step you take. There's a deep humility that comes with pursuing understanding. It's the recognition that no matter how much we know, there's always more to learn. It's understanding that life is a constant process of evolution. As you face challenges, you not only learn about the world, but also about yourself. The more you pursue understanding, the more you uncover your own principles, your strengths, and your weaknesses. This self-awareness is the foundation for making decisions that are aligned with your authentic self. Every day is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become a wiser version of yourself. Understanding doesn't just come from books or formal teachings. It comes from the way you live your life. It comes from how you respond to challenges, how you interact with others, and how you handle the ups and downs of your own journey. By choosing to pursue understanding, you create a mindset of continuous growth and self-improvement. You stop seeing life as a series of obstacles and start seeing it as a constant flow of lessons and opportunities to deepen your understanding. In the end, understanding is the key to living a life that's truly aligned with your principles. It helps you make decisions that are not only practical but meaningful. It guides you in your relationships, your career, and your personal growth. So every time you face a decision, major or minor, ask yourself, how can I apply understanding here? Remember, understanding isn't about knowing everything. It's about knowing enough to keep learning, to keep growing, and to keep improving. It's a lifelong journey, and the more you commit to it, the more fulfilled and aligned with your authentic self you'll become. 8. I govern my responses. Life is unpredictable. One moment everything seems fine, and the next you're hit with a setback. A project falls through, a friend disappoints you, or things just don't go the way you planned. It can be frustrating, to say the least. We often find ourselves wishing we could control the events around us, the actions of others, or the outcome of every situation. But here's the harsh truth: we can't. Life will throw curveballs and we'll face challenges that are completely out of our control. However, what we can control is how we respond. That's where our power lies. The Stoics understood this deeply. They believed that our peace of mind comes not from controlling external events, but from mastering our responses to them. Marcus Aurelius once stated, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This idea is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. We can't always dictate what happens to us, but we always have the ability to choose how we respond. Every time you affirm, "I govern my responses," you're reminding yourself that despite the chaos around you, your inner world remains under your control. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of life, to let stress, frustration, or anger take over. But when you take a step back and remember that you govern your responses, you regain your sense of power. This is not just about controlling your emotions. It's about taking responsibility for how you engage with the world. Every situation, no matter how difficult, offers you a choice. You can choose to respond with frustration, with anxiety, or with resentment. Or you can choose to respond with patience, understanding, and insight. The real power comes when you realize that you hold the reins of your responses. Life will never be perfect, and people will continue to disappoint you. But your peace of mind doesn't have to be contingent on those external factors. The moment you acknowledge that you can control how you respond, you free yourself from the grip of the outside world. Stress, anxiety, disappointment, they're all part of life, but they don't have to rule your life. Stoicism teaches us that peace of mind doesn't come from avoiding these emotions, but from learning how to manage them. When life tests you, and it will, remember, you decide how you respond. You choose whether to let stress overwhelm you or whether to stay grounded in the knowledge that you govern your response. It's not always easy, and it's not always instant, but with practice, you can build the habit of responding with intention rather than reacting on autopilot. The more you practice this mindset, the more natural it becomes. Over time, you'll find that you're able to stay calm in situations that would have previously caused you to lose your temper or feel anxious. You'll learn to rise above setbacks, to face challenges with a sense of inner strength, and to approach life with a clear mind. By taking control of your responses, you stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the master of your experience. This doesn't mean that life won't still throw difficult situations your way. It doesn't mean that you won't feel frustration, anger, or sadness, but it does mean that in those moments you can choose to remain composed. You can choose to respond in a way that aligns with your principles, that helps you grow, and that preserves your peace of mind. It's about remembering that your true strength lies not in controlling the world around you, but in controlling how you navigate it. 9. I'm built for extraordinary achievement. You weren't made for mediocrity. You weren't built to simply get by, to live a life of ordinary existence. No, you were made for extraordinary achievement. And every morning when you tell yourself, "I am built for extraordinary achievement," you're reminding yourself of your potential. You're setting the tone for your day, for your choices, and for how you show up in the world. It's not about ego, it's not about arrogance. It's about deeply understanding that you have something extraordinary within you, and that you were meant to contribute something meaningful to the world. Marcus Aurelius once stated, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one." This quote speaks to the heart of what extraordinary achievement is all about: action. Extraordinary achievement isn't about dreaming of what you could do. It's about stepping into who you are and living that truth every day. When you wake up each morning with the belief that you are built for extraordinary achievement, it changes everything. You begin to see yourself as someone with a purpose, someone with the power to make a difference. You don't just go through the motions of life, you engage with it. You show up with intention, knowing that every moment is an opportunity to live out your true potential. Whether it's your creativity, your work ethic, your ability to inspire others, or your capacity to rise above challenges. Extraordinary achievement isn't just something that exists in the distant future. It's your reality. It's in the way you approach your day, in the decisions you make, and in the way you carry yourself. Living with the mindset that you are built for extraordinary achievement isn't about expecting perfection or having all the answers. It's about understanding that extraordinary achievement comes from consistent effort, from doing the work even when no one is watching, and from choosing to show up even when things get hard. It's about embracing the challenges because you know they're part of the journey. You were built for extraordinary achievement, but that doesn't mean you don't have to work for it. Extraordinary achievement is not about waiting for an opportunity to fall into your lap or hoping that one day things will magically change. It's about consistently showing up and doing what it takes to bring your best self to the world. Whether it's in your career, your personal relationships, or your own self-development, extraordinary achievement is a reflection of your effort and your belief in yourself. It's about stepping into the person you were meant to be, even when that path isn't always clear. One of the most powerful aspects of believing in your own extraordinary achievement is the impact it has on those around you. When you embrace your own potential, you inspire others to do the same. Your belief in yourself doesn't just affect your life, it ripples outward, influencing the people you interact with. You begin to lead by example, showing others what's possible when you choose to step into your true potential. Extraordinary achievement isn't a solitary pursuit. It's something that has the power to lift others up along with you. So as you move through your day, remind yourself that you are built for extraordinary achievement. Every challenge you face, every setback, every moment of doubt, it's all part of the journey toward realizing your potential. Don't let fear or insecurity hold you back from stepping into the extraordinary achievement that's already within you. You were built for something bigger than just getting by. You were built to live with purpose, to contribute to the world, and to make a difference. And that starts with the belief that you are meant for extraordinary achievement. Not tomorrow, but right now, today. So go ahead, embrace your potential, and watch as your reality begins to reflect the extraordinary achievement you've always known you were capable of. 10. My thoughts are my sanctuary. Your mind is where every battle is fought. The challenges you face, the temptations you encounter, and the opportunities that arise. Everything starts and ends in your thoughts. When you affirm, "My thoughts are my sanctuary," you're making a conscious choice to guard your mental space in a world that's constantly trying to pull you in countless different directions. It's easy to let negativity, stress, and doubt seep in. But what if you chose to protect your peace, to stay focused, and to refuse to let anything shake your inner calm? This is the power of a strong mind. It's not about avoiding challenges. It's about fortifying your mental resilience so that you can handle whatever life throws your way. When you embrace the idea that your thoughts are your sanctuary, you stop allowing external events or other people's negativity to penetrate your peace. You create boundaries around your mental space, protecting it from anything that threatens to disrupt your sense of calm. The world can be chaotic, but your inner world doesn't have to be. This doesn't mean shutting out all emotions or pretending everything is perfect. It means acknowledging the challenges you face, accepting them, and then choosing to act in a way that aligns with your principles and your goals. It's about building resilience so that no matter what happens around you, your mind remains steady. The more you practice this mindset, the easier it becomes to maintain your peace, even in the most difficult situations. When you concentrate on what you can control, your thoughts, your responses, your perspective, you stop letting the external world dictate your emotional state. You begin to realize that you have the power to decide how you feel, how you respond, and how you navigate the challenges that come your way. This is the true power of your mind. It's not just about avoiding negativity, it's about strengthening your mental resilience so that you can face life's obstacles with clarity, focus, and purpose. One of the most important aspects of creating a mental sanctuary is learning to protect your focus. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. We're constantly bombarded with messages, notifications, and demands on our time. It's easy to get caught up in the noise, to let the chaos of the outside world pull you off course. But when you choose to guard your mind, you prioritize what truly matters. You learn to stay focused on your goals, on your principles, and on the things that bring you peace. This doesn't mean blocking out the world entirely. It means learning to tune out the distractions that don't serve your well-being so you can give your attention to what truly counts. Your mind is where your greatest power lies. When you strengthen it, you empower yourself to handle any situation with grace and resilience. Whether it's dealing with stress, overcoming setbacks, or simply staying focused in a world that constantly demands your attention, the key to success is learning how to guard your mental space. This isn't about being perfect or never feeling negative emotions. It's about training your mind to stay grounded, even when the world around you is in turmoil. The more you reinforce your mental sanctuary, the stronger you become. You realize that no matter what happens outside of you, your peace, your clarity, and your sense of control are yours to protect. 11. I opt to remain fully engaged. So often we find ourselves caught between the past and the future. We replay old mistakes or replay conversations we wish we'd had differently, or we worry about what's coming next. The tasks, the deadlines, the unknowns that loom ahead. It's easy to get stuck in this cycle of overthinking, missing out on the richness of the present moment. But here's the truth: life isn't happening in the past or the future. It's happening right now, in this very moment. The present is where life unfolds. And yet, it's so easy to let it slip by unnoticed. When you wake up and state to yourself, I opt to remain fully engaged, you're making a commitment to show up for today. It's not about ignoring your past or abandoning your future. It's about understanding that you can only control the now. You can't change what happened yesterday, and you can't predict what will happen tomorrow. But you do have control over what you do in this very moment. The beauty of remaining fully engaged is that it allows you to appreciate what's right in front of you. When we're stuck in the past or constantly planning for the future, we forget to enjoy the present. We let life pass us by, waiting for something bigger or better. But the truth is, the present moment is all we ever truly have. Life is happening right now. And the more you can ground yourself in the present, the more you'll realize just how much you've been missing out on. Every experience, whether major or minor, is a chance to fully engage, to remain fully engaged, and to appreciate what's happening in the moment. When you opt to remain fully engaged, you also start to see the world around you with more clarity. Your mind isn't cluttered with worries or regrets. It's focused on what's before you. And in that focus, you begin to find peace. The more you practice remaining in the moment, the easier it becomes to let go of the distractions that once pulled you away. You start to realize that most of our stress comes from either dwelling on the past or fearing the future. But when you are fully engaged, you stop stressing about what's out of your control and start embracing the peace that comes with the now. There's another powerful benefit to remaining fully engaged. It allows you to truly connect with others. When you're fully engaged, you're really listening, really engaging with the people around you. You're not just waiting for your turn to speak, you're actively participating in the conversation, in the moment. How often do we let our relationships slip into autopilot because we're not fully there? Remaining fully engaged with others deepens your connection. Whether it's with a friend, a partner, or even a stranger, it shows respect, care and genuine interest in the people in your life. Life is full of distractions, and it's easy to get caught up in the noise. But when you consciously decide to choose full engagement over distraction, you open the door to a richer, more meaningful existence. You become more attuned to the beauty in the small moments and more in touch with the world around you. This simple act of opting to remain fully engaged can transform your daily experience. You stop rushing through life and start living it moment by moment. And in that space, you'll find the depth and richness that often goes unnoticed in the hustle and chaos. 12. I command my path. Life has a way of throwing us curveballs. Sometimes it feels like you're cruising along and suddenly you hit a detour, a change in direction, an unexpected challenge, or an event that catches you off guard. It's easy to feel like you're just along for the ride, being tossed around by circumstances. But here's the truth. You are the driver of your own life. Yes, life will hand you twists, turns, and detours, but it's ultimately your choices, your actions, and your mindset that determine the direction you go. When you affirm to yourself, I command my path, you are claiming ownership of your journey. You stop letting life happen to you and start taking the wheel. We often feel like we don't have control over what happens in life, and in many ways, that's accurate. You can't control the actions of others, you can't predict the future, and you certainly can't avoid all the bumps along the way. But what you can control is how you respond. That's where your power lies. Carl Jung once stated, I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become. This speaks to the heart of personal responsibility. It's not the events in your life that define you, it's how you choose to react to those events. Every choice you make, no matter how small, steers the course of your journey. By taking ownership of your decisions and actions, you reclaim the power to shape your life. Too often we let the circumstances around us dictate how we feel and how we act. We let fear, doubt, or outside pressures steer us off course. But when you remind yourself that you command your path, you can stop being a passive participant in your own life. Instead of waiting for life to happen to you, you start making choices that align with your principles, your goals, and your authentic self. It's not always easy, and it's certainly not always comfortable. But the moment you take responsibility for your journey, you become the author of your own story. Taking ownership of your journey also means embracing the fact that you're in charge of your decisions. No one else is responsible for your life but you. That's both empowering and daunting, but ultimately it's the most liberating truth. You're the one who decides what you prioritize, what you value, and what path you take. Even if the world tries to push you in a certain direction, you have the ability to choose your own path. This isn't about perfection or always having the right answer. It's about accepting that you are responsible for the direction you choose and owning it no matter the outcome. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming others or external circumstances for where we are in life. But when you take full ownership of your journey, you free yourself from that mindset. You stop waiting for things to be different, for the world to change, or for someone else to fix things. Instead, you step up and take control. You recognize that you have the power to move forward, to make adjustments, and to create the life you want. One choice at a time. It's not always a straight line, and there will be obstacles along the way. But each step you take with intention brings you closer to where you want to be. The key to embracing this mindset is recognizing that every decision, no matter how small, matters. Every time you choose to show up for yourself, to take responsibility for your actions, to take a step toward your goals, you are steering your journey. Life isn't just something that happens to you, it's something you create moment by moment. Every setback is an opportunity to learn, every challenge is a chance to grow, and every success is a result of your commitment to your path. Next time you feel like life is getting out of hand, remember, I command my path. You are not just a passenger, you are the driver. You decide the course. You take the wheel and you move forward with purpose. It's your life, your choices, and your path to walk. The journey may not always be easy, but when you embrace your role as the creator of your own experience, you realize that you have the power to shape your future, one decision at a time. Remember, you are the driver of your own journey. Life may throw obstacles your way, but how you respond, how you navigate, and how you choose to move forward is entirely up to you. So take control, embrace your path, and step into the extraordinary achievement that awaits. Thank you for being part of Stoic Wisdom. If you found value in today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and check out one of the suggested videos on the screen to continue your journey of growth and self-discovery. Stay strong, remain fully engaged, and as always, keep pursuing understanding. See you in the next video.